Army, baby. We're going there. World Cup, #1.
In 2002, the U.S. made a stirring run to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. It set the bar at a lofty level. Can they elevate their game and call checkmate today?
In 2002, the United States stunned the world and raced all the way to the quarterfinals. Now, 23 men must prove again that they belong among soccer's elite and make a statement in this World Cup.
The day has finally come. The United States opening play in the World Cup against the Czech Republic. Glad to have you along on World Cup Live, presented by Vonage. I'm Rhys Davis, and assembled on this set, I've got Soccer Hall of Famers. I've got 9 World Cup trips. Alexei Lalas, Eric Winalda, and Julie Foudy. Julie, who actually knows what it's like to win the World Cup. So I get to start with her first.
Rub it in. Are you kidding me?
I did not expect that.
That came out of left field.
Well, that's the way it's going to be for the rest of the month. I know. All right, Julie, an hour before,
I didn't say it.
An hour before your first trip.
Yes.
First game into the World Cup, first match. What was the feeling like?
Let's get this show started. I mean, you've been preparing so much. You've been talking about the team. You want to get on the field. But the key is you got to control those emotions, because everything's going to this first game. You want to get 3 points out of the first game. So critical for the United States is to be pumped, to be ready, but also to control the emotions and make sure the adrenaline doesn't get the best of them.
It's a good point. I think emotions are a big part of the way you start a World Cup. But the way this entire World Cup has started, just the emotions we've already seen, I think our team is ready for that. I think there's been a lot of speculation of whether or not this is the best team ever. I think it might be for that reason, experience and skill.
It's amazing what you forget before a World Cup. Eric will remember back in '94, we actually had the night before the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase, all right? And then we had Dr. Kissinger coming through the locker room. I forgot all about that. All I was focused on was getting on the field. All these players care about is getting to that field, getting on, and getting this thing going.
You know, the first game is always of paramount importance in the World Cup. In 2002, of the 32 teams in the World Cup, only 1 lost their first game and still able to advance to the round of 16. That was Turkey. This game for the United States is of paramount importance against the Czech Republic. They certainly won't be eliminated mathematically should they lose, but their task for trying to advance out of group play after the first 3 games would change from being formidable, which it already is with this tough group, to being perhaps Herculean. So if the United States is going to get off on a great foot against the Czech Republic today, who are some of the guys, who are some of the players that need to step up and play great, Alexei?
Well, we've talked about it for the past couple of weeks. Kasey, Keller, he has got to be huge. Those of you that are tuning in to watch the U.S., be proud, because Kasey Keller, as far as I'm concerned, is the #1 goalkeeper in the world. If he was playing for Germany or Brazil, people would have no problem saying that, but he is the best goalkeeper in the world playing for the United States, and he needs to be on his game, and he needs to be on his game throughout this entire tournament.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about DeMarcus Beasley. I mean, it was a guy that I think we expected a lot of. We didn't expect a lot out of against Portugal in the first game in 2002, and he just showed up. He's had a good run in Europe. He's starting to play better. He's a little bit older. He's a little bit more experienced. But this can't be, show up for the first couple of games and play well and then disappear. That's the way it was in 2002. We need more out of DeMarcus Beasley. There's actually speculation of whether or not he would even make the starting lineup today, so we'll see how he does.
Now, the starting lineups will be unveiled in a little while. When we get them, we'll let you know who's starting for Bruce Arena's team. Who's the player you're looking at, Julie?
Well, we've talked a lot about Gooch on the back line, Oguchi Onyewu, but we haven't talked much about Eddie Lewis. And so we've talked about the forwards, we've talked, but the outside backs for the United States are critical. And Eddie Lewis, he plays midfield for his team in England. He plays for Leeds, almost helped them get promoted into the English Premier League this this year. He's been playing very well. He loves to attack. It's critical for the United States that they start getting those outside backs flying forward and being really aggressive about sending numbers.
He looks like Arjen Robben, too, from the Dutch. I hope he plays that way today.
Yeah, you know, when we watched the Netherlands play yesterday against Serbia and Montenegro, Eric said a couple of times that they were laying the blueprint for the United States and how they should attack the Czech Republic. A game coming up, 11:55 Eastern Time, as we get you ready for the U.S.'s maiden voyage into this World Cup. Guys, let's play a little fact or fiction right now.
All right, there we go.
You guys were the pioneers. You know, you thought I busted you up.